travel day, and we are headed to South Carolina, just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. And I get to do we are going to do one of my favorite things on our way to the campground, and that is stop at a farmer's market. There's down in Mount Pleasant. They have a twice a week locals market set up, and I'm excited. I like to see the handmade crafts and what's fresh in the area, so it should be really fun to walk through and check it out. Hopefully pick up something yummy. I've got my eye on a local favorite of coconut cake. I'm a huge coconut fan, and somehow I've never made a coconut cake, so I might try to look for some in town, try a couple of local ones. We'll see. Let's see what we can find, you know, on our expeditions and our adventures. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's anything like that cobbler that you just made last night, man, like that crust just blew my mind.
Forget about seeing it or hearing it. In the end, you must feel. Forget about all you know. You need to go. It's okay to let go. Just let it go, go, go. Then you're breathing in. You're breathing out.
Find something you like?
We're breathing in. We're breathing out.
Alright, I'm gonna need that back.
Nah, I bet you do.
Some bad treats. Tomatoes are cool.
Look how big that is.
Bigger than your head. How you doing today?
So great.
We're looking at your spices.
Yes.
You guys make everything here in Charleston?
We do. Our kitchen is on James Island. We use just organic herbs and spices, so it's just the good stuff. No fillers, no preservatives, just
That's
spices.
awesome.
Yeah.
Everything smells amazing.
Yeah.
And we're happy to see like some familiar stuff in here that we like to use, you know, so.
Yes, we have a lot of good classics and some personal creations, so.
Yeah, I think we grabbed a couple at the Durango blend and.
Yes.
Well, I saw your Pooter-Deuce, and that blew my mind. I've only seen that one other place.
I'm glad you know about it. That is
Yeah.
so cool, yeah.
I put it in so much of my baking.
Yeah. It's definitely.
It's a nice cinnamon, but like savory a little bit too. So I thought a lady
Been trying to take me.
okay.
Secret ingredient.
Where can folks find you online?
at www.charlestonspice.com.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. We're going to go home and cook up with some of these spices.
I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you, Caitlin. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Enjoy your travels.
Thanks. That was a nice score. Nice find, babe.
Thanks so much. Super fun. I love everything about these kinds of farmers markets. Like, yeah, there's like permanent produce shops that they call themselves farmers markets, but there's nothing like an outdoor market that has everything from fresh honey to spices to kettle corn and meats and eggs, and just meeting the people that are running these companies. And
yeah, I think that's the best part, is like meeting the people, right? You know,
yeah.
We have Alex that we met from the farm, which we're going to go out on Friday. The people are,
people are super nice, and then they want to share their story, and people never ask.
What are we going to cook tonight? We got some ribeyes.
Yeah, we got some fresh ribeyes to throw on that Blackstone of ours, and then
local butterbeans.
I picked some local butterbeans up. I got a really nice heirloom tomato that'll go great on our salad. I'll just have to whip up a dressing because I think we're out, and find some vegetables for Van in the fridge.
Nice. Are those dessert?
These are the Puppers desserts. Mr. Finley and Echo, can't forget about them. Got them a couple of fresh smoked pig ears. So
they'll be happy, especially after their travel day.
Exactly, and unfortunately they'll probably only last about an hour, but
with Finley.
It'll be Finley's best hour of the day.
All right, well, let's go. I know Van's waiting.
Yeah, let's go home. I need a cold beverage.
Exactly.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Dad, I don't think that's the right bean.
South Carolina butter beans we picked up at the farmer's market not too long ago. A little impromptu farmer's market dinner tonight. Our first night here in South Carolina, just north of Charleston, out on the coast. So what else we got? I know salt, pepper, garlic, bacon.
I just put a little bit of white wine in there, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic and herb seasoning, top it with some broth.
Yep.
And just let it simmer.
Sounds good.
We'll probably finish it with a little tab of butter just for namesake. And
all right, about to throw these ribeyes on the Blackstone for dinner tonight. Picked up some really nice spice from Charleston Spice Company down at the farmer's market. It's their ají blend. I think the main ingredient is the ají amarillo pepper. Let's get these ribeyes thrown on. Butter beans are done, pretty much simmering on the stove top. And let's get some sear. Oh yeah. We'll give these bad boys a nice hard sear. Got it on high right now. Good hard sear for about, I'd say 3.5 minutes per side. Let it sit. I like it. We all like ours medium rare. Oh yeah, these are looking great. Go ahead and get a little sear on the edges of these. Pull them off. Let them rest for about 8 to 10 minutes. It's time for dinner. Just kidding. A little black grouper sandwich. What'd you guys get?
I got a plain chicken sandwich with a pickle.
Of course.
it tastes good. I went with a smoked turkey melt.
Hey.
Yeah, no, that rye bread gets me every time. I love it.
Well, I don't want to walk in the sand.
Well, I don't think we're walking out on the pier.
Not today.
That's the surefire way to spot a tourist at a beach, is somebody throwing treats, fries, popcorn, chips to the seagulls.
Because little do they know.
Locals don't do that.
Well, that, and you're gonna get cracked
unless you're an a-hole and you just want to get pooped on. So we're here at Charleston Oyster Company.
Hi.
And this is Dea.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And you said you're a researcher doing research on oysters?
Yeah, so I research Pertussis moranis. It's a parasite that infects oysters across the East Coast, but I mainly research them in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And what I found so far is, what I'm looking at is if climate change is impacting them, so increasing water temperature, increasing salinity, is that going to have an impact on the relationship between Pertussis and the eastern oyster.
And what have you found so far?
So far, I found that salinity and water temperature both impact the oyster. It causes an increase in infection intensity and a whole lot more. I'm still yet to publish that. But I've also been finding that Pertussis is not so much a sexually transmitted disease, but it's a sexually, how do I call it? Its transmission is based on sex, so females are more likely to have it than males.
Okay. And is that along the same lines of like Vibrio and stuff like that?
Yep. So my next project, I'm going to be looking at the connection between Vibrio and Pertussis.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And seeing how that connects. These are our cages here.
Right.
That we put all our oysters in. So we do single, we grow them as singles rather than as clusters. Sometimes they do, like today we had a few clusters and we just break them up, but we sell them and grow them as singles. So
what is the benefit of that?
So, easier to harvest,
Definitely.
thicker shells. Every so often, every like week or two, we have to start pulling. We pull a bunch, like today we took out like maybe like 70 or 80 bags out of the water, or these out of the water, because you have to get all of this off, which
all the barnacles.
Yeah, barnacles. There's crabs in here, there's shrimp in here. Probably some algae. I haven't really seen too much. We have plants that get stuck in here, but a whole bunch of stuff gets stuck in here. Oopsies, red ants. But a whole bunch of stuff gets stuck in there, which causes biofouling, which means that water can't flow through. So this whole thing, I don't have any bad ones. I wish I did though. But this whole thing would be covered.
Oh, so you got some crops in there.
Yeah.
Like you guys sometimes just don't get oysters, and you guys get like extra.
No, we put the oysters in there. So we order the seeds for the oysters. And then we put them in the bags, and then they grow in the bags. So they never grow outside of the bags.
Do you guys harvest once a week, or?
So they have to be down in the water for 14 days. So it just depends on when we put them in the water. So we did not harvest last week, but we did harvest the week before that.
Thanks, Dea, for that awesome tour and super incredible information. If you like what you've seen so far, go ahead and give us a like. Hit that subscribe button, keep the algorithm happy, and we're gonna shove off. Come on with us. We're gonna go get that coconut cake started.
How's the boba?
It's
Hopping
good. Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I am making a southern specialty, especially here in South Carolina. It is a traditional southern coconut cake. I'm almost embarrassed to say that I've never made one before, seeing that I'm a huge fan of coconut and I love it to death. I guess I lean more towards coconut cream pie. That's kind of my weakness. I'm doing a half of the recipe since, again, very few people are eating it, and I'm using a smaller cake pan. So I am going to do 2 layers with the coconut cream cheese frosting. To get started, I'm going to cream my butter and sugar. I've got 2/3 cup butter and 1 1/3 cup sugar. Alright, so you know that your butter and sugar is good and creamed when it's gotten real pale and the graininess of the sugar is kind of broken down. You definitely want to make sure that you scrape your bowl down continuously throughout. If you have a stand mixer, minus mine, it's a little bit easier. It kind of does it itself, but you still want to scrape and make sure everything's getting included. Next, I'm going to add 3 eggs individually. I've got them already cracked, ready to go. We're going to mix those in. So we've got our eggs good and incorporated. Now we're going to add our dry ingredients. I have 2 cups of cake flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna put those in increments as well. I'm gonna start with my mixer on low so I don't blow flour everywhere. My batter is getting pretty dry, so I'm going to add my liquid ingredients to help the flour absorb and incorporate better. I've got 2/3 cup of regular milk, 1/3 cup of coconut milk, and 1/2 teaspoon of coconut extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Now, I am using smaller pans than the recipe calls for, so it should take a little bit less time. So definitely, just on all ovens are different. You're gonna keep an eye on your cakes, but hopefully it should bake up in about 30 minutes. We've got everything incorporated, mixed well. As you can see, I've got my pans prepared with butter and flour plus a layer of parchment in the bottom. It just helps it come out of the cake pans easier. I am going to fill my cake pans about 1/2 to 2/3 full. That way I can get a nice thick layer and decide at that point if I want to cut it in half and have a 4-layer cake. Got my cakes about 2/3 full. Just want to smooth them so they're nice and even. And I'm gonna drop them to get any excess air out of the batter because nobody likes a bubble in their cake. My oven's 400 degrees. It's been preheating as we were going, so it's ready to rock and roll, and I'm gonna put these babies in. They should cook for about 40 minutes. Being that we are kind of unsure on the temperature of our oven, I'm just gonna keep an eye on them and see how things go. All right, so it's been, I'll say about 35 minutes, and these babies I just poked with a toothpick. Sorry, lost my word. And they are ready to go. These babies are done. I'm gonna let them cool, and then I'll work on the frosting. So for our frosting, I've got 1/2 cup of butter, 1 package, 8 ounces of cream cheese, both softened to room temperature. I'm gonna incorporate 1/2 teaspoon of coconut extract and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then I'll be slowly incorporating my powdered sugar. You definitely want to weigh out your powdered sugar. It's 16 ounces because a measuring cup isn't going to give you an accurate amount. So I'm going to incorporate those till it's all smooth and fluffy.
So we're out here with farmer Alex Russell at Chucktown Acres here in McClellanville, South Carolina. Alex, thanks for letting us come hang out today and take a tour of the farm.
Absolutely.
What do you got going on here?
So we are a regenerative farm in South Carolina. We do pasture-based livestock, rotational grazing, the whole 9 yards. What we do here is we create the highest quality food possible that's also beneficial for the soil, water, air, the community. We're into growing food that's beneficial not only for the animals that exist here, but also for the environment that we're in as well. So we do grass-fed, grass-finished beef, pasture-raised eggs, forest-raised hogs. We also do Thanksgiving turkeys, and we do a strawberry U-pick in the spring.
Nice.
Yep, yep. So all of our chickens, we do an organic, corn-free, soy-free, and they are in mobile chicken coops that we move every single day. So we've got all these coops. I don't know if you want to check out the coops there, but they are mobile, they're on skids. And so every single morning, we bring the tractor out, we move these chickens, and what we've been able to do is we've been able to regenerate old conventional agriculture fields that were just basically a beach with some blades of grass. And we've been able to, in 3 years, turn them into very lush, nutrient-dense dense pastures that we're now able to graze up to 30 cows on. Now when we started this 3 years ago, our max capacity of cattle was 8. So we started with 8 and it was basically slim pickings out there, but what we do is we move these animals every single day. So we're doing intensive fertilization with long periods of rest, and that's the recipe for creating the highest quality pasture land ever that can then grow the highest quality food. So that's kind of our methodology. We get after it every single day out here, and then we, as a byproduct, have chicken, pork, beef, eggs, turkeys, and strawberries that we then go take to market. We sell at the Mount Pleasant Farmers Market here in Charleston. We also have an online store that people can buy our products that way. The main thing that we're excited about is regenerating land, and our food is then a byproduct. So our customers know that when they buy a ribeye or chicken breast or a pork chop, they're supporting a system that is building soil for the future generations that are gonna come and use this land for growing their food in the future. So we're not just trying to do a short-term thing to make some quick money. We're in the long game of trying to create food that's healthy for people now, but also pastures and soil that's healthy for future generations.
That's awesome, man. Well,
yeah,
we're super excited to be here, and we're definitely appreciative of you having us on the farm, being able to take a look around. So we'll drop all your social website and all that on here so people can find you. And
Chucktown Acres.
What you think, bud?
It's pretty cool.
Happy dogs getting to run on the farm. Are you happy?
Finley wants to be a farm dog.
You want to be a farm dog, don't you? You guys can be farm dogs. All right, let's load up. Big thanks again to Alex and his family out here at Chucktown Acres in South Carolina, McClellanville, South Carolina. Always great to see where your food comes from. We're sure appreciative that you let us come out today and tour the farm. So we've actually got some dinner to cook up ourselves, so we're about to head back to the campsite, cook up some dinner, and then tomorrow we get on the road for our next stop. How'd that coconut cake turn out?
Oh babe, it is absolutely delicious.
A little zoom shot on it?
Definitely, get in there. So sweet. Would go great with like a coffee drink in the evening. All right, get out of here. I want some.
All right, great job, babe.
Thank you. Okay, go.